Hi, Ray here. So this is going to be part three of my 3 Days of Darkness dreams. Now, I think my last dream, it may have been something else, I think. And I'll go into that perhaps later or in another video. But I've had these other dreams, and these were from a long time ago, from when I was like 7 years old. And I thought that maybe they weren't related, but after watching, or rather learning more about CERN and what one scientist or many have been saying about what's going on at CERN, and how they were firing up CERN on the day of the eclipse, which was yesterday, regarding beings coming in and out of portals over at CERN. And so in this dream, this was again from when I was about 7, there was this dream I had where, and this is going to be kind of silly, but I think it still yet somehow is part of the 3 Days of Darkness, and that is, in this dream, there was a portal that was opened up, and it was Daffy Duck. Now, again, seems kind of silly, but yeah, I thought I would just put it in here. And I think it might just be at nighttime or whatever, but everything's all dark outside. And Daffy Duck, he basically comes out of a portal, and it's me in this dream, and I'm in an apartment with some other family members, and Daffy Duck, he basically comes out of the portal and then goes to our front door, and we're all scared in there. I think we may have been running, or I may have been running away back into the apartment, but he breaks down the door, or I think he uses a chainsaw, and then just makes a keyhole and just opens it up, right? But he basically comes in and he kills my grandfather. And so, again, it might not be related, but I thought I would just put it in here since, what was going on with CERN. And my grandfather, he's one of those people, who acts all real righteous, but I think that he's not really all that righteous. And I think, well, what was going on with some other priest not so long ago, he was like in his 60s or 80s or something. He's a really old man who's been a pastor for a very long time, and I forget what his name is, but he basically came out and was talking about this supernatural experience he was having, and where he encountered a demon or the devil and came to the doors of perhaps it was heaven, and entered in and talked with God, who said to him that basically what he was doing was wrong, and that all the good deeds he had done didn't override all of the bad things he had done or what he was doing, and that he was wrong, and that God didn't like what he had done or what he was continuing to do as a priest, and that what he was doing, what he had done, was an abomination, and that his thought or philosophy that all of his good deeds would outdo all of the bad things he had done, or what he was doing was bad, it was an abomination. And so I think this kind of ties back in with my grandfather who was killed in his dream. So I think that he has part of the same philosophy or thoughts. He's one of those people who can't criticize at all. And I would say he's actually like stolen like about $2,000 from me and said it was only $1,000 that I'd given him. I never given him any money. Never give him any money. And he basically just pocketed $2,000 from me from when my mom died when I was 17. And my aunt, she had also stolen $5,000 from me. And my grandfather, he was saying, "Oh, she was wrong for that," and blah blah blah. But he had also done the same thing. And even later, he lied, saying, "Oh, I remember you gave me that $1,000. Here's $200 now that you've been crying for a couple months and are gonna end up living on the streets or inside my car." And so I think that the dream relates because of that. And now, when I had this dream when I was like 7 years old, I always thought that, my grandfather was the man. He talked like, or personified as this good, righteous person. And so I actually have another dream. And my grandfather, he ties into this as well, again, in this dream. And this dream also happened around the same time period. And in this dream, I was living at the apartment again. And this time, I was running. I think one or another family member may have been running with me. And we were going through this alleyway, and we're running from these giant spiders. Like these spiders that are 33 times the size of a human, of an average size human. And so we're just like running, and I run into like this old lady, and she stops me. Now this is quite odd, but she stops me and says, "Oh, I remember your grandfather. Here, I have this for him, for whatever reason." And she just gives me some change, just like some nickels, quarters, pennies, like that kind of thing. I think, but yeah, it was just some coins, and then I just get back to running. So, but in that dream though, with the spiders, I don't think it was dark at all. I'm not quite sure, but I still think it relates because of what's been going on at CERN and these supernatural beings coming out of it. And so that is it for part 3. I will also note that in my other dream that I had out as part 2 or 2, I think that dream actually might have been related to my UFO dreams. I've had about 11 dreams with UFOs in them, starting from when I was about when I just first started going to college, which I was, I think, about 19 at the time. And yeah, I'll probably go into that in another video. But yeah, I've had about 11 of them where like I've actually written them down and everything. However, like I no longer have access to those notebooks, but I'll go into that into the next video.
Says, your faith is dead. Your works are in vain. The life that you lived and offered to me as a life of Christian service is an abomination that I rejected in the